Hey guys, Chris here with another review video from my Disney World trip from last week. Now in this video I'm going to be ranking the 10 adult attractions that I was able to partake in while I was at Disney World. Now the ranking scale that I'm going to be using is a personal one. These are just what I think. Not everyone has the same criteria that they like in a ride. Also, for the purpose of this, I'm really just looking at how fun the ride was, how comfortable it was. I'm not looking at things like wait times, because for some rides I had a fast pass and some rides we didn't. This is more or less just my experience on the actual ride. So without further ado, here are my top 10 2016 Walt Disney World Adventure rides. And at number 10 is Space Mountain. And while Ric Flair says that Space Mountain is the oldest ride and still has the longest line, woohoo! I was not a huge fan of Space Mountain. I felt, it was kind of cool, but I didn't like that I was very huddled over. It was not very friendly to someone with a 6'6" frame. Also, it's very quick moving, so it kind of came out of it with a little bit of a back and neck twinge, so I wasn't a big fan of Space Mountain. Moving up the list, we are going to jump over to Animal Kingdom and Dinosaur. Now, same idea as Space Mountain. It is a little bit of a herky-jerky kind of ride, but again, it's newer, it's a little cooler, so that's why it kind of gets ahead of Space Mountain. But again, it's just not really my particular cup of tea. I know a lot of people who love it, but for me, it's going to be sticking at number 9. Number 8 is Star Tours. The adventure continues. Now, again, it's almost exactly like Dinosaur, except Dinosaur moves and the Star Tours is stationary and it rolls around. And I know what you guys are thinking. Wow, Chris, how can you have a Star Wars related ride down the list? But listen, I love Star Tours. I went on it twice while I was there. I just think there are rides that are better and that are more fun. Star Tours is one of those, you do it once and it's okay. I think the day they come out with the Star Wars roller coaster, that it's going to obliterate Star Tours in terms of wait times and things like that. Number 7, Tower of Terror. Now, I was not a huge fan of Tower of Terror. This was the first time I ever went on it. I was a little nervous, as it is the only real ride at Disney World that I can think of that goes up and down with such a feverish pace. I didn't like the fact that I felt like I was coming out of my seat when the ride was going down. I definitely would do it again, as I would probably all the rest of the rides on this list, but Tower of Terror for me is only good enough to make it to number 7. Number 6, now we're going to jump over to Magic Kingdom for the next 3 on the list. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I got to try it for the first time when we were there last week. I actually went on it twice. It's kind of an intermediate roller coaster. It's not really scary and it's not really like a little kid ride. It was kind of cool. It was kind of average. I went on it a couple times. I thought it was cool. I definitely would do it again. Number 5, Splash Mountain. One of the few rides you can go on at Walt Disney World, and it's actually refreshing because you can get a little bit wet. And again, only not higher on the list because it was, there are rides that I think that are better. I really did like Splash Mountain. A 10 out of 10 absolutely would go on it again, especially if you're down there and it's super hot out. Jump on Splash Mountain and just get a little bit wet, cool down a little bit. Number 4, and again, also at Magic Kingdom, is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is one of the newer attractions there. I really liked it in 2014. I really liked it this time. I did only go on it once. We tried to go on it again, but the wait times were just absolutely ridiculous. Again, kind of an intermediate roller coaster. It does have some cool spots and some outside spots and really nice, and the animatronics on that ride are absolutely phenomenal. By far the best animatronics at Walt Disney World are on this ride. And here we go, the top 3. Number 3, the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios. Now, I'm absolutely petrified of the Rock and Roller Coaster. You sit in this thing, you strap in with the chest harness, and this thing, bam, like a bullet shoots out of the thing, 50 miles an hour, woo, big loop, corkscrew, and it is absolutely crazy. You know what? It's kind of cool. There's black light in there. It's just, I love it. I really do love it. And a lot of people think it's the best ride at Walt Disney World, and you know what? They're probably right. But for me, it's number 3. Number 2 is the only ride we were able to do that I would consider an adult ride at Epcot, and that is Test Track, the Chevrolet Test Track. I fucking love Test Track. I went on it 6 times. I know it's just a big, gigantic Chevrolet advertisement, but you know what? on warm days where it's 25 to 30 degrees to sit in a car and be able to do some cool inside things, and to be able to go outside and hit 65 miles an hour ripping around that track. It's refreshing. It is fun. I absolutely love Test Track. I absolutely recommend it to everyone who goes to Disney World. And last but not least, my favorite Disney attraction of 2016 that I was able to go on, Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom. It is a fantastic roller coaster. If you go on Expedition Everest, absolutely you have to sit near the back. You just request to sit near the back. It's fucking great. It's super fast. The only thing I wish that they would do is when you go up the part and there's the little outside, I really wish they would play the mountain climber music from The Price is Right. You go up and then there's a backwards part, then there's a forwards part again, there's an outside part. There's nothing not to like about Expedition Everest. Anyways, guys, there you have it. Those were my top 10 adult attractions that I was able to take in while I was at Walt Disney World. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think might be your best attractions. I'd love to hear them. And also, you know what, there were some rides we didn't get to do. You know, if there are rides that weren't even on the list, let me know down below, because I'll be going back and I will check them out and I will review them and I will post them on this channel. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button down below the video. Until next time, peace.